Welcome to Tuesday. And the reason why that's important is that on Friday, in the afternoon at 5 o'clock, we have to have Olive Garden here in our household. So we're gonna do a little series, hopefully, on this channel about can we Olive Garden here? We're gonna talk a little bit about what I discovered. In the last video, I was hoping to feed 4 to 5 people in under $70. And I sadly probably won't be able to do that because the tiramisu took it all over the top, the ingredients for it. So what I'm gonna do is make a little scenario for y'all. I'm assuming that most families shop every week for groceries. And so I'm going to think that maybe sometimes they have chicken breast. They're going to have ground beef, maybe some Italian sausage, maybe random spices, salt and pepper, flour, oil, all that, okay? What I'm going to include then is sort of a breakdown. After this clip, I'm going to try to include like a recipe card shaped sort of frame where I outline these ingredients and how much they cost me. Here I have the ingredients for marinara, and in the Olive Garden menu, we are making lasagna and chicken parmesan as a part of the tour of Italy, okay? So I'm not gonna buy marinara sauce, I'm gonna make marinara sauce. So this price tag will be for 2 dishes. I'll make enough marinara for both dishes, which I think is exciting. And I'll just introduce you to a little bit of my philosophy, which is kind of, but anyway, I find that in my household, I pay in one of 2 things when it comes to the kitchen. I either pay in time or in money. And if you have the time for a lot of things, for example, if you have the time to bake bread, if you have the time to make your own chicken stock, if you have the time to make your own breadcrumbs, which we'll get to later on when we make the chicken parm, you save money and you don't waste food. This marinara is going to save you so much stirring and watch time, because what we're going to do is we are going to start this marinara on the stove, but then we're going to bake it low and slow for a couple of hours. That takes your hands completely off and you can go do something else, setting yourself for success, I hope. One thing I notice invariably, and you'll probably witness this, on Friday when we start to get all this together, there's always crunch. There's always crunch time, and I'm going to do my darndest to avoid it and be cool, calm, and confident, but I'm looking forward to see how that actually works out. So if you are into this sort of thing, please like, please comment, and please subscribe if you're into it, because this next series is going to be pretty exciting. Oh, and by the way, Chris will be coming back. I'm going to take my sail feta frame just for efficiency's sake. But so here we are at the stove, as I promised. We're going to start this marinara on the stove. We're going to finish it in the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my oven to 325. Okay, so we're going to start with heating up. I'd say it's about medium high. And then we'll put about probably a generous 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then, let's see, I think I'll use this one. So we're going to add just our onions to start. Don't want to burn the garlic. There we go. We're going to saute these onions until they're translucent. So it's been about 3 minutes, and I added about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and about a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper off camera. What I forgot to mention is this is 1 small to medium onion in just diced. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to add, I think I had in the end about 6 or 7 cloves of garlic that came from that whole garlic bulb. So I just chopped those up not too finely. And then 3 chile de árbol, which translates into crushed red pepper flakes. Now we're gonna go real fast here. Sorry. We're gonna go real fast here because we don't want the garlic to burn. We're just gonna let it get fragrant. We're gonna add 2 cans of tomato paste. Don't worry, we're going to wash these all out with water. Sorry about the banging on the pot. Now we're going to try to caramelize this a little bit. I learned this sort of a long time ago from Lydia Bastianich. She likes to caramelize her tomato paste a little bit in the pan before she moves on to the next step. It's going to start to coat the bottom of the pan, if you can see. I hope you can see. Get you a good look. So you can see the bottom of the pan starting to turn a little red, a little orange. So it's going to start to collect, caramelize on the bottom of the pan. That's fine. You stay at medium high heat, not high heat. You can totally control this. I'm also going to add a little salt. Not a lot, because I mean you don't want it to be too salty, but you want to salt. I like to salt as I go. I've seen a lot of people make marinara sauce and they hardly salt at all, so it's really up to you. All right, now this is sake, but you can introduce a little white wine. This is totally optional. You don't have to do it. I've used beer, I've used red wine, I've used sake. So we're going to use this because it tastes a lot like a fruity white wine. And we're going to put about a 1/2 cup in. And we're going to let it, we're going to let it evaporate. So it starts to look a lot like it did. Before we added the white wine in. We're just going to let it. You see we're starting to develop some caramelization on the bottom. We're going to take care of that with the water we're going to add in a few minutes. Starting to thicken right back up again. This is, let's see, a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. These are from Aldi. It says it already has basil in it, so we're just gonna pour this in here. I'll take some B-roll of me like rinsing these cans out if you care. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit because it's going to start to spit at you. So then we go. So this is entirely too thick. So what I'm going to do is just take some B-roll of me rinsing these cans out with water because they're going to need it. So in the end, I think we're going to do about 2 full cans of these and maybe a half can of this, like rinsing it out. And then I'll see where we are with water. Other things you want to keep in mind. I'm going to put a little bit of oregano in at this point. Let's see. Have you ever seen Justin Wilson? He used to measure teaspoons in his palm, the palm of his hand. I'd say, oh goodness, like I promised. Okay, I turned it down. This is about a teaspoon of dried oregano. He would like put the spices in his hand like this and then pour it out into a teaspoon or a tablespoon. It'd be completely exact. Kind of ridiculous. Okay, kind of amazing. So, optional things at this point. We're gonna keep the basil out for now because this can advertises there's basil in the tomato already. Once we get, oh, it's all heated up. Once we get the marinara out of the oven, okay, because you don't want it to get too sweet, you don't want it to get too salty. So you don't want to add these seasonings in right now because it's going to reduce in the oven. You want to add this after you take it out and you taste it. So you could possibly add sugar if you want it. More salt and pepper, which we're probably going to need. And like I've done things like add balsamic vinegar. I've added fish sauce or anchovies to put a little umami in if I wanted. I probably won't do this here because my mother-in-law hates fish and I don't want to detect anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go and shoot some B-roll of me rinsing these cans out. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. I want to show you what we look like here. It's nice and thick. I'd say it's probably reduced by about a cup and a half of liquid, which is exactly what we want. There's no burning on the bottom that I can feel, which is excellent. So you turn off your oven, turn off the timer. That's already off. Okay. Then we're going to give it a taste. What we're tasting for is salt, sourness, or bitterness. So let's give it a try. It's going to be hot. Oh, that's really quite good. I don't want to add sugar or salt. The thing about Italian food, it benefits from a day or two of rest. And so what I'm going to do is put this on the back burner. I'm going to let it come to room temperature. And off camera, once it comes to room temperature, I'm going to store it in this container in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. Tomorrow, I think we're making lasagna and a whole bunch of stuff. And oh, I just realized that I messed up. I thought I invited everyone over for my mother-in-law's birthday on Friday. It turns out her birthday's actually on Thursday. So we are gonna get a whole day just eaten up from my mistake. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, stay tuned.